Well, right now we're on the corner of Forbes and Smithfield, right across the street from the Burlington store here downtown. And you can see right in front of us, investigators are looking into the incident that happened here today. We're told that just after 4 o'clock, shots were fired right beyond them. You can actually see those evidence markers. You can see that A and that number 1 on the sidewalk there. We're told that's where the shooting happened. We're told there was at least 1 shot fired here. A witness told us he only heard 1. But we're told that there was at least 1 shot fired here. A man was shot in the abdomen. We're then told that that victim ran behind this dumpster here, and police were nearby. There was 1 officer who was in his car. He actually heard the shot being fired, saw the suspect with a gun. That suspect then dropped the gun. The officer was able to tackle that suspect, and then police went behind that dumpster and rendered aid. We're told at least 18 units are without heat. Most of those people are going to be staying here at the Extended Stay America Hotel in Monroeville. Councilman Kahari Mosley is calling this a crisis. This stump is all that remains of a tree that stood here until last night. That's when it toppled over and landed on this car. You can see that windshield is smashed. Pieces of wood are actually still scattered all over it. And the woman who owns this vehicle says she wants answers. Well, Lisa, you did a good job mapping things out there, but let's give you some perspective. That is the Zone 2 police station. Now walk with me up the sidewalk here, and we'll show you where this whole ordeal ended. This little alleyway behind that Family Dollar. They say the suspect was behind those dumpsters. Now we're learning from sources that that suspect was in his underwear. He came out from behind those dumpsters and pointed a gun at police. I can tell you the atmosphere here has changed dramatically over the last half an hour or so. We've seen a couple of dozen, maybe more supporters leave the venue here at the Scranton Cultural Center. And I don't think many people expected this to be a runaway like Senator Bob Casey is used to. In fact, in his previous runs for Senate, his closest margin of victory was 9 points. But I do think that the lead that Dave McCormick has right now has caught some people off guard. Well, that's absolutely right. Who knows when we're going to find out, because those margins right now are razor thin. But tonight, both campaigns are confident that when it's all said and done, their candidate will win. Lisa, so much emotion here tonight as Brian Hagerich came down that escalator just after 9:30 this evening. He ran into the arms of his 2 small children. People clapped. People cried. It's a reunion 101 days in the making. Gordon, Lisa, that's right, it does. It's the former Bethany house. It's been known by other names recently. We're going to show you exactly what it looks like now. You can see how significant that damage really is. And in the last 3 minutes or so, we learned some brand new information from the Reserve Township fire chief. He told us when they arrived, the roof was on fire and basically burned off the building here. They had to open up all the walls to fight this fire. We do know that there was 1 minor injury. He said it was a cut on a finger, and the person refused treatment here on scene, so no significant injury here. But this Bethany house is home to after-school programs. Let's go ahead and show you what this looked like when we arrived earlier. You can see how intense those flames were. Now, this location has been here for a while. I was talking to neighbors, and they say that they remember it going back years and years. In fact, one woman said that this has been a part of the community since she's lived here, and she's lived here for her entire life. Here's what she had to say about this loss that she calls heartbreaking.
It's a big loss. It's a big loss because it became after-school program for the kids. You know what I mean? And it's so sad.
Kids up here need something, don't they?
Yes, kids up here need something to do.
Now, she told me she was actually in tears when she saw that that building was on fire. Here's what we know so far. There have been no injuries reported. The fire chief told us that, again, just that 1 very minor injury, as he described it. The fire marshal is here investigating the cause. We'll bring that information to you just as soon as we can. Reporting live in Reserve Township tonight, Rich Pierce, Channel 11 News.
Now let's bring in Channel 11's Rich Pierce. He joins us live in the Satellite Center tonight. And Rich, Vogel's mother is about to turn 96. She didn't even know if she would live to see her son again.
Now, that's right. Unbridled joy tonight is a good way to describe it. The Fogel family elated that he is back on American soil. I spoke to his mother and his sister. They both told me they never gave up hope, even when things looked grim.
I think God listened to us.
A day Mark Fogel's mother, Malphine, has waited 3.5 years for is finally here.
He said, "Buongiorno." I said, "Well, this is the wrong time for you to be calling."
Her son calling her from the airport in Moscow.
I just got dizzy. I thought, did I get this right? I couldn't process it. And I said, "What did you say?" He said, "I'm coming home."
The news the soon-to-be 96-year-old wasn't always sure she'd be around to hear.
I really wondered if I'd get to see him again. And I think he did too.
But she will.
He sent me a text from the plane.
Channel 11 also spoke over the phone with Mark's sister Ann while she celebrated.
We're having some scotch.
She told me she had a feeling something might be happening.
We knew last week he was removed from the Rybinsk penal colony. And we were told by a number of people that he was given a shower, given clothes and shaved and a haircut.
They'd been disappointed before. There have been a number of Russian prisoner swaps while he's been detained, including one in August. But Mark's family never lost faith.
I said, God is tired of hearing from us. He is. We have prayed rosaries every night at 9:30, my sisters and I.
Fogel, a teacher from Oakmont, had been serving a 14-year sentence for having a small amount of medical marijuana in a Russian airport. Up next for him, a stint in a military base while he gets reacclimated to life in the United States and time with his wife and sons. Then, the reunion Malphine has dreamed of.
I just want to touch him, feed him.
Family members told me they were thankful for a number of lawmakers on both sides of the aisle for their work, including President Trump. His mom says she fully expects her son to immerse himself in his hometown when he gets back. Reporting live in the SAT Center tonight, Rich Pierce, Channel 11 News. Here outside Monview Heights, Building 11 is actually just right there. That's where neighbors say raccoons are getting in and staying.
Raccoon City.
Raccoon City, established here inside Building 11 at Monview Heights.
They fight and they sound like they're going to come through our kitchen walls. If the raccoons are in there, we want them to pay rent too.
Neighbors tell us the critters moved in about a year ago using gaps and cracks at the base of the building.
We hear scratching, a little bit of noise coming from our bathtub.
My child thinks I have monsters in my house. He sets booby traps every night trying to catch a monster. And what it is raccoons. Like, we shouldn't have to live this way.
I heard the babies. I've never heard a raccoon baby until they lived under my tub.
That neighbor shared with us this video. Listen closely. You can hear something under her tub. She tells Channel 11 the raccoon she calls Big Bertha moved in around Thanksgiving last year.
I don't know if it's just her and her kids, or it's the family and their extended family, because that's how it sounds like there's so many.
After several attempts over the course of a week, we spoke to the property manager this afternoon, who had no comment on the situation.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
One woman we spoke with is hoping to be moved to another building on property until the problem is fixed, but has had no luck so far.
If they're nesting in there, that means they put food in those walls. They're going to the bathroom in those walls. They're giving birth in those walls. We need help.
That property management company is based out of New Jersey. When I spoke to the manager today, she told me she'd send my information to the corporate office and hopefully someone would get back to me. If and when we do get new information, we'll share that with you. Reporting in West Mifflin, Rich Pierce, Channel 11 News.